The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by EdgeBoost, the bank gamble for better. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN to get a $25 deposit match bonus. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It is currently Friday afternoon, around 5 p.m. Eastern Time on May 9th. I'm your host, episode Scott Reichel, joined again by Lonte Smith together. We're going to break down the games for the Saturday card. Lonte, a bit of chaos behind the scenes, but now you're on the show. So how's it going? How have you enjoyed your Friday so far?
Not bad, man. Pretty good. Hopefully we can get some winners from yesterday. I know we had the show yesterday, so hopefully we got some winners today and on Saturday. So hopefully we have a good weekend.
Yeah, I know that for the show for the Thursday games, I ended up hitting my lock. I had the under 8.5 in the Dodgers Diamondbacks game. Did lose the dog. I had the Phillies minus 1.5. It was a miracle they won the game anyway, so I can't really get too mad there. But either way, picked up a split there. Hopefully we sweep the plays from the Friday games, and hopefully we'll sweep the plays again here for the Saturday games. I do want to ask you, though, just looking at the actual, I'd say, news or looking at the upcoming games in general this weekend, any games that caught your eye, something to look forward to?
I'm actually looking forward to that Detroit-Texas series. Flaherty and I know Flaherty hasn't been as good this year, but him and DeGrom been really good. So that's a series I was looking forward to. Outside of that, I mean, I think typically what we talked about yesterday with some of these series, like the Mets Cubs, I think that's going to be pretty good. I think a sneaky good one will be that San Francisco Minnesota one as well. And always looking forward to a West Coast showdown with the Dodgers and Diamondbacks. So yeah, I mean, there's a couple of good series here, and I'm looking forward to the weekend. It's actually not a ton of huge prices. I think obviously you got two of the bottom tier teams playing each other in the Marlins and the White Sox, so that takes away from things. But it's fairly competitive price-wise.
Yeah, definitely should be interesting. Couple of matchups. Some of them overlap with you that caught my eye. Do want to point out, though, I know that I talked with you about the Shelton firing. I believe it was the last episode. I do want to talk to you about another piece of news that was going around, which is kind of a repeat of what we saw in spring training and during the offseason. But now Casas ended up destroying his knee. And Devers still refuses to play first base. And now there's been a whole separate, I'd say, resurgence of backlash, etc., involving Devers. He's making $313.5 million. And on top of that, he's making $27 million this year. I believe this is year one of his extension. I'll ask you, do you think Devers in the right? Or do you think that he's acting like a selfish brat for not trying to help out the team?
Yeah, I think it's more the latter, man. I mean, you just got to do whatever you can for the team, especially you're getting paid like the way he's getting paid. I mean, you just got to do whatever for the team, albeit we see guys all the time play all different types of positions. I mean, we saw what's my guy name who played all over the diamond last year? Mookie Betts played all over. He played second.
He played shortstop even.
Yeah, like he was all over. And he's getting, I'm not sure if he's getting the same amount of money, but probably somewhere close. So, yeah, I mean, I think you got to just do what's best for the team. I mean, and they're not in a place where they can, kind of – they're right around middling. So, it's not like they're an elite team and he can afford to say stuff like that. I mean, So, yeah, I'm with the latter part. I think you should just kind of do what's best for the team regardless of if you want to or not.
Yeah, I agree. Red Sox are one over. I understand the argument might be, well, maybe he's a good third baseman and he doesn't want to play elsewhere. He's actually the worst defensive third baseman in the entire league.
Right.
So there really is no reason for it. If he was a Gold Glover there, and you're like, okay, well, you're comfortable. Right. You don't want to move Arenado, for example, to another position. But if you are that bad defensively, which Devers is, there's really no reason why you shouldn't move. We've seen Tatis have success moving. Cruz moved. He's a terrible center fielder, but at least Cruz did end up switching positions. Tatis, did he win a Gold Glove in the outfield?
I think he did.
I think he did. So the point is it worked out for Tatis, who couldn't play shortstop, and then he was able to play the outfield. Javi Baez moved to center field. He's been pretty good there, too. We have seen other highly paid stars, because I'm throwing in Javi Baez, etc., but highly paid players who have been able to make the transition for the betterment of the team, and they have been able to have some success in the field at different positions. And Devers is being extremely selfish, and he's trying to hurt the Red Sox potential moves, because with Campbell and with Bregman especially, you have a lot of options at third base. And Devers is just refusing to help the team out. So, yeah, I think it's a really bad look for Devers. I think that it's really, I'd say, selfish. And I'll put it this way. I don't think he makes it to the end of that contract in a Boston uniform. Is that a fair statement?
I would agree with that. Yep.
So there you go. Wanted to mention it. Figured we'd agree, but I wanted to mention because the Devers thing we talked about in the offseason, and then kind of got pushed aside, and now we're right back because Costa ended up injured. So is what it is. We'll see if Devers ever moves. Probably not, but he's a really, really bad defensive third baseman. Anyway, before we get into the actual games for the Saturday card, a reminder that we actually do have a brand new line of merch because the DGens line of gear is live in the merch store. And celebrate, we're taking 20% off everything with the promo code DGens. So once again, if you want to get some merchandise, whether it involves the NBA Gambling Podcast, the MLB Gambling Podcast, Tennis Gambling Podcast, you name it, but there is a discount code right now, 20% off everything with the promo code DGens at checkout. Moving on to the games on the Saturday card. Starting off with the first game, you have the Braves taking on the Pirates. Now, for this game, you have Smith-Shawver against Heaney. The Pirates are plus 125. The Braves are minus 150. And the over-under in this game is set at about 8.5. Heaney's quietly been good this season, or at least pretty good from what was expected from him. A 2-3, 3.18 ERA. However, Heaney in his last couple outings has not been pretty good. Last two outings, 8 1/3, 8 runs allowed, lasted. As for Smith-Shawver, he was really bad early. Then he was very good in his last outing and gave up 1 hit in 8 innings against the Reds. Did walk 4 guys, but 1 hit in a shutout win there is impressive. The Braves have actually won 3 straight of his starts. Braves trying to climb back to 500. They're 1 under after that really bad start. So apparently everyone panicking overreacted. But I'll ask you for this game, do you think minus 150 is fair? Because I actually think it is. Because Smith-Shawver, who I actually see minus 138 if you actually shop around.
Yeah, that's too short.
I'll take the Braves there. Smith-Shawver showed something last start. I'll back him.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think this is too short. Anything under 150 I think is fine. I don't really like what I've seen from Heaney in the last few starts. You mentioned at the top, he's allowed 3 home runs in those 8 runs that he allowed in the last 2. AJ's been solid. I trust Atlanta more. I mean, for obvious reasons. We talked about Pittsburgh yesterday in length, but I don't trust their offense. I think he should be able to go well here. He's pitched well against offenses of this caliber, so I don't see him, having an off night or anything like that. Not that Pittsburgh can present any problems outside of the few guys at the top of the lineup. So I'm going to go with Atlanta. I think that's a cheap price.
Yep, I agree there. Moving on to the next game, Cardinals against the Nationals. Now, for this game, you have Fetty again. Oh, sorry, wrong. That's the Friday matchup. Sorry. You have Palante against Williams. Now, the Cardinals are minus 115. Nationals are minus 105. Palante 4.75 ERA. Williams 2-3, 5.86 ERA. For the over/under, I see 9. At first glance, 9 feels too short with these pitchers. Palante had a pretty decent start to the season. Been really bad on the road. 5.66 ERA. He has given up at least 3 runs in 4 straight starts. At least 4 runs in 3 of the last 4. Went 3 1/3, 4 runs, and 9 hits against the Mets. Also walked 4 guys in that outing. Though has no K stuff, pretty much only gives up contact, and has not been good lately, giving up 4+ runs in 2 straight. So I see runs in this outing. I think I would pick the Cardinals. I think Palante might be a little than Williams, but they're on the road. I'd rather pass entirely on the side. Give me the over 9.
Yeah, man, took my whole handicap as well. I like the over. 19 earned runs last 4 for Palante. High hit rate. Trevor Williams on the other side has a high hit rate as well. Both teams' offense. St. Louis offensively should be able to hit the ball pretty well. So I don't see anything less than 11 runs here. So I like the over as well.
Yep. Moving on to the next game, you have the Yankees taking on the A's. Now, for this game, you have Rodon pitching, who's actually been really good so far this season, against Sears. Now, the Yankees are minus 160. A's are plus 135, and the over-under in this game is set at about 10. So we're expecting a pretty heavy run environment over the weekend. Totals like 10.5 on Friday night, 10 on Saturday. Balls are going to be flying out of that ballpark in Sacramento. For this game, though, Rodon's been solid. I mean, the Yankees keep sabotaging his starts. The last outing, 6 2/3 and 3 hits and no runs. He's given up no earned runs in 3 of his last 4 starts, so he's been incredible. As for Sears, former Yankee prospect, trying to get some revenge here. He's been fine this season. Not good at home, though. 5 ERA at home. Has given up less than 3 runs in 4 straight. First glance, I like the under. First 5 under, I think is intriguing. The Yankees bullpen mess. The A's bullpen has not been much better So I think this total's too high. The first 5, you might get 5.5 in this game
Yeah.
because it's a total of 10. 5.5 is way too high. I'll take the under. I think Rodon can go well. Sears can go well. Maybe both of them go well. But either way, 5.5 is asking a lot for what I think is a matchup between two pretty underrated pitchers this season. Give me the first 5 under 5.5.
Yeah, I like the full game as well. Also, we'll be taking the team total under for the A's. I mean, Rodon's been pitching extremely well. You ran off the numbers. Sears on the other side has pitched extremely well. Also 2 or less in 4 straight games. He's went 6 innings in 2 of those 4 low scoring games. His last 4 have went under. Well, 3 of his last 4 he pushed on an 8, I guess, depending on which number you had. Now, I guess the pushback would be he hasn't faced a ton of good offenses in that span. He faced the White Sox, Texas twice, and then Miami. I do like Miami's offense, but I don't think they're on the caliber of the Yankees. So I'm going to go with the full game under. I'm with you on the first 5 under as well, but my better play would be the full game under.
Yeah, once again, it might just be because I'm still scared of the Yankees bullpen, and I know the A's bullpen has been great. You mentioned Sears. The distance can be pretty inconsistent with him, so that's kind of why I'm a bit concerned is that the A's might have to use the bullpen for 4+ innings, and at that point, the game might turn into a shootout. So
that's a good point.
I'll kind of just go with first 5 instead. I'll back Sears. I'll back Rodon. Hopefully, they don't give up too many home runs, or they do and nobody's on base. So hopefully that ends up working out for the first 5. Moving on to the next game here on the card. Brewers taking on the Rays. Now, for this game, you have Myers taking on Bradley. The Rays are -135. The Brewers are +115. For the over-under in this game, I see it being set at 9.5 or 9. Bradley was pretty good against the Yankees last outing, but this season he's been up and down. 4.43 ERA. He ended up going 5 1/3, 2 runs against the Yankees. Start before that, 7 innings, 2 runs against the Royals. So he has been better lately. I'll point that out. Myers, though, showed up mid-season after some injuries, but it seems like he's okay again. Not good on the road, though. Does have a 6 ERA on the road. Was very good last outing, though. 5 1/3, 1 run against the Astros. So I do think at the end of the day, you're looking at what should be a pretty close matchup.
Yeah.
I find it insane total of 9.5 with the Rays batting because the Rays are horrific offensively. Milwaukee's not been good on the road, though. Tampa's not been good at home. Tampa's 9-16 at home. Brewers are 7-12 on the road. I feel like I'm looking in a mirror when watching these two teams.
Yeah.
Like, they're very similar, but I do think Tampa being 135 is kind of insane because I just don't think they're good enough to be laying 135. I'll take Milwaukee +115, and I'll go with the under. 9.5 in a Tampa game when I'm not expecting them to score more than 4 runs in any given game, I think is pretty large. I'll go with the under and give me Milwaukee.
Yeah, completely agree. I thought the total was a tad high. Even Milwaukee offensively, they're okay, but on the road it kind of drops off a little bit. So and Myers is working his way back. He's looked okay, small sample size. He hasn't looked horrible. But again, you talked about his road struggles, and Bradley's contact has been a little bit up. I think Milwaukee can kind of take advantage of that in certain spots. So I'm looking at like a 3-2 type of game, man, with Milwaukee coming out on top. So I like the plus money with them. I thought this series pretty much should be what it was yesterday when we went over. I thought it should be like -115, maybe -120, depending on the pitcher. But I don't think it should be any higher than that. 120 is probably pushing it as well. So I think 115 to even split across the board is the best that it should be.
Yeah, I think 135 would suggest that you, in my opinion, no offense to Taj Bradley, had a better pitcher on the mound.
Right.
Like if McClanahan was still healthy, I could understand 135, 140, but Bradley's been inconsistent for his entire career, and Myers off a really good start. So I do think you're looking at a spot where Milwaukee's being a bit disrespected here.
I agree.
It's tough, though, when you have one team that's bad on the road and one team that's bad at home, and somebody has to win. But I think Milwaukee, could argue, is a better team than Tampa. It's close. They're both pretty similar. But Tampa's offense just does nothing for me besides a little bit of Yandy. Cabanero's actually been pretty good so far this season. But you know what I'm trying to say? Caballero's been okay, too. The point is I don't have many guys that really scare me. So I'll go with Milwaukee in the under in that game. Before we get into the other games on the card for Saturday, a reminder that we're brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas because they're having a great fantasy football giveaway, the ultimate fantasy football experience for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. Want to receive 2-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino for the entire 12-person league. You could have your draft at the Cabana at Stadium Swim with a $5,000 food and beverage credit, limo transportation to and from the airport, welcome party at Legacy Club, from the league. Also reservation at the World's Largest Sportsbook with a $500 beverage credit for the league. Contest duration is from May 5th to June 30th. Enter at sportsgamepodcast.com circa, sportsgamepodcast.com/CIRCA. We're also brought to you by Edge Boost, the first ever bank and bill for bettors, ensuring that all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no imbalance, cash rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. And a reminder, when you deposit $25, EdgeBoost match a deposit. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog because they just launched their new game mode ladders, one of the 500 times your money by watching your favorite players climb the ladder. When you sign up for your new account and use the promo code MLB SGPN to go a special pick and a first-time deposit offer up to 1K bonus cash on a fancy promo code MLB SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the card for Saturday. Time to keep it going with the next game. Phillies against the Guardians. Phillies have been rolling lately. Had a nice comeback win against the Rays yesterday in extras, but they have been on fire. You're looking at the teams having the same records, though, at 22-15. Suarez is pitching, who made one outing and got absolutely shelled, but he's minus 115 in this one. Pitched against Arizona. 3 2/3, 7 runs. Not great for his first outing. For Cleveland, you have Bybee pitching 3 2, 4.26 ERA. Been incredible at home. A 1.53 ERA at home. He's given up less than 3 runs in 3 straight starts. 3 earned runs at least in 3 straight. For the over-under in this, I see the line being set at 7.5 or 8. I understand that it's at home where we know we tend to see a lot of low-scoring games for Cleveland. Bybee's been good and all. Suarez, though, has been kind of a mess. Cleveland offensively, though, has quietly been pretty good recently. And Philly's offense has scored 7+ runs in, I believe, 5 straight games. So I like the over. I think 7.5 is too low. You could argue that there's some value in Cleveland if you want to fade Suarez. But if you've scored 7+ runs in 5 straight, and the other team has been good offensively, too, over the past week, I think that this total feels very... I'm going with the under. I'm going with the over at 7.5. Total feels too short.
Yeah, I'm completely in agreement with you on that. I like the over, and I think the price should be flipped. Obviously, it's not a ton of difference, but I think that the Guardians, with respect to Bybee, I mean, I get it that they've been in a better spot offensively. The Phillies have been, but I mean, the Guardians at home got to be respected. They're trending up a little bit as well. Not as hot as the Phillies, but I do like the Guardians at home. Bybee struggled early on, but he's been lights out as of late, and especially at home. I don't really trust Suarez. Maybe he'll be better, towards the All-Star break or something like that when he gets a little bit more rhythm into him. But as of right now, I don't really trust him on the road against the Guardians. So I like the Guardians in the matchup. I like the over with you as well.
I just think 7.5's crazy when one pitcher gave up 7 runs in his first start of the season about a week ago.
Yep.
So I find that kind of weird. Moving on to the next game. You have the Rangers against the Tigers. You mentioned this matchup before. You have DeGrom against Flaherty, which should be fun. For this one, Rangers minus 115, Tigers minus 105. DeGrom 2-1, 2.61 ERA. Flaherty 1-4, 3.78, 7.9 ERA. For the over-under, I see 7.5 as well. I think it's just based on the pricing for me. I got to take Detroit. Like, this price is kind of nuts. Detroit is 13-3 at home. They're 25-13 overall. Rangers are below 500. They are 6-12 on the road. I get DeGrom's been better than Flaherty. Mm-hmm. Flaherty hasn't been awful. I think he's been okay, but they just had higher expectations for him than what we've gotten. So I think minus 115 is just the wrong team being favored. I think Detroit should be favored in this game at home. So I'll take the Tigers at a pretty cheap number.
Yeah, I like the Tigers as well. I mean, Flaherty, he hasn't been good up to his standard and up to the standard that I thought so. But I think
he's
it's
been
a good
average. Like, he's not terrible.
He hasn't been. His hit rate has been high. But again, how much do you expect Texas to hit the ball? We talked about them a lot. Their offense can't get going. DeGrom's been great. I'm happy that he's back healthy and pitching well, and trending towards his dominant self that he was in New York. But again, I think price-wise, I think we're paying a little bit of that. I think you're paying a little bit of that DeGrom tax to back Texas because their offense cannot hit the ball. And Detroit at home, I like them. I like the first 5 under. Also, I think Flaherty goes well against this offense. So first 5 under and the Tigers for me.
Yeah, just to point out the Rangers, by the way, they fired their hitting coach, scored 6 runs in the first game, 4 runs in the second game, and 0 in the third game. So maybe it wasn't the hitting coach. Question. I'm just going to throw that out there. Maybe your team's just not very good. Either way, though, I think the Tigers should be favored in this game. I'll take Detroit in this one. Moving on to the next game, you have the Red Sox against the Royals. Now, for this one, you're looking at Kansas City at home, who have been just insane. 15-5. Red Sox, though, are 9-10 on the road. Devers may or may not be playing third base in this game. We'll see. You have Crochet pitching against Reagans. Crochet 3-2, 2.02 ERA. Reagans 2-1, 3.79 ERA. Was great to start the season. Had a bad stretch, then took basically a turn off in his rotation, and then ended up coming back and was phenomenal against the White Sox the last time out. For the over-under in this game, I see 7 as the total. To be honest, I kind of agree with every line in this game. You could argue that the Royals should be favored, but I think Crochet can go more distance than Reagans can. Reagans went 5. He was phenomenal, but I question how much distance he's going to go. And if I was going to back the Red Sox against Reagans, I would need Crochet on the mound. So I think I agree with these lines pretty thoroughly. The total feels right. I was hoping it'd be 7.5. I would take an under. It's not. I think the Red Sox should be favored because Crochet probably goes longer than Reagans does in this outing. So I really don't have much. I think I'll go Boston, but it's really not an opinion that I feel great about. I'm probably going to pass on this game entirely. But the lines, in my opinion, feel correct. You could argue Kansas City being favored in the game, but Reagan's made 1 start since basically having 10 days off. So I kind of want to see a bit more sample there with the length in his outing. So I'll go Boston, but it's really, I think, correctly priced for this game, for this matchup.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much a buy low spot, similar to what I thought about with the Tigers. I mean, if you look at a parallel between Flaherty and Reagans, they kind of profile pretty similarly. Both have not had good starts as of late, and at home, with both teams playing really well at home. I think Reagans, the distance does bother me, and Crochet's been really good, probably the best pitcher on that staff right now. Mm-hmm. But I think the way Kansas City's been playing, especially at home, I think that warrants them being a slight favorite, maybe minus. I think it maybe minus 110 would probably be fair. So I'm going to take the value with the home team who's playing a little bit better. I know Boston's offense can kind of wake up here and there, but I think Reagans can pitch a gem here. So I'm going to go with the home pitcher and the home dog.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. I mean, once again, I'm picking Boston because I just trust Crochet's length a bit more.
I think it's fairly priced.
Yeah. If you want to go for Kansas City, who's been on fire at home at basically even money, I'm not going to roast you for it. I'm just picking who I think is going to win the game, but I'm probably not going to bet this game at all. Moving on to the next game, you have the Reds against the Astros. Now, for this game, you have Singer against McCullers. I saw that Green was put on the IL for Cincinnati, so they're going to have to reinvent the rotation a bit. But either way, point is McCullers was really, I'd say, average in his first outing of the season. He battled. He wasn't very good, but you know what? He gave up no runs. That's all that matters. Astros, though, are minus 135. The Reds are plus 115. For the over-under, I see the line being set at 8. I prefer Singer in this one. I just mentioned a second ago in that Red Sox game, I do want the starter who's going to go more distance. And McCullers battled against the White Sox. He wasn't very good. He was able to get out of trouble, but he got himself into trouble in almost every inning. So Singer's been fine, worse on the road, was not good against Atlanta last time out, but he's been pretty good besides that. I just don't trust McCullers enough, so I don't mind the over in this game. I don't mind maybe Cincinnati a plus money, but I feel like McCullers getting a bit too much respect at 135, and he's barely pitched in the last couple years, and he wasn't very good in his first outing. So I like the over at 8, and I think the Reds have some value.
Yeah, I like the Reds as well. Just not enough trust in McCullers right now. Like you brought up, just we don't have enough data to prove that he's going to go distance, and the bullpen's been inconsistent, similar to the Astros as a whole. I think 115 is a good price for Cincinnati, who's also been inconsistent. But again, I got the known commodity in the pitcher, which is what you basically have to base this handicap on. And I think Singer will be fine here. He does need to cut down on the home runs, though. He's allowed a home run in 5 straight. He's had some walk issues, but again, we talked about the Astros yesterday. Not a ton of power in that lineup, especially without Jordan. So I like Singer. I might take them first 5 as well to get a better price or to get a better look and take the bullpens out of it. So give me Cincinnati first 5.
Yeah, you also mentioned in the last episode that the Reds have owned this team historically speaking, so they've actually traveled well here in the past, which definitely helps their chances. I'm moving on to the next game. You have the Marlins taking on the White Sox. Now, for this matchup, you have Cabrera, so pick any stolen base guy you want on the White Sox, against Smith. Minus 110 on both sides. Both teams have been really bad, obviously. The White Sox are 10-28. The Marlins, are 14-22. The over/under in this game is set at about 8 or 8.5. Smith, though, has been good. 1-2, 2.41 ERA. Cabrera's god awful. and he really can't hold runners. So White Sox first 5. That's all I got.
Absolutely, White Sox first 5 with Smith. Smith's been good. We talked about Smith and what's my other guy's name yesterday that we handicapped?
On the White Sox, or you mean
in
general?
On the White Sox. The pitcher, forgot his name.
I'm drawing. Oh, you mean Martin?
Was it Martin? I'm blanking on his name, but they got 2 pitchers who have been okay. It might have been Martin. That was.
I know Wilson's going tonight, so it's definitely not Wilson.
Bryce Bryce Wilson. We handicapped Bryce Wilson. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Bryce,
he's not any good, so I'm assuming it's Martin you're talking about.
Yeah. So he's been fine, and I think that Smith is obviously the gem of, if you want to call him a gem, between the pitching rotation. But yeah, White Sox first 5. I do like. I mean, I keep saying it, but I like the Marlins. They're feisty, but not in this role. I like them better when they're at home and against, catching a number like, maybe 2-1 plus 180, 190, something like that. I don't really trust them in this role. So White Sox have been playing better as of late, especially better than the Marlins. So I'll take the White Sox first 5. I might take them full game, just split a unit on it.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game, you have the Mets taking on the Cubs. See, the Mets are minus 152. Cubs are plus 128, and the over/under I see 8.5. Who's pitching for the Cubs? We have no idea. But McGill's pitching for the Mets. 3-2, 2.5 ERA. The Mets are 13-3 at home. Do you want to guess how many runs McGill's allowed at home this season?
Let's see. Give me 6.
0.
Damn.
He's allowed no runs. He's made 3 outings, 12. He's gone 14 2/3, so not much distance. But he has allowed no earned runs. He's allowed 2 runs technically, but no earned runs. So his ERA is 0 at home. Having said that, 160 and change, 150 and change feels pretty steep, but I don't know who's pitching for the Cubs. So this might just be a pure pass for me because I don't have enough information. McGill's been very good, but once again, I need to see who's pitching for Chicago. So it's kind of a TBD for me.
Yeah, same for me. I just, it's hard to handicap a game and you don't know who's pitching. So I'll just complete pass.
Yeah. I wanted to mention that game because technically we do have lines on it, but we don't know who's pitching for Chicago. Moving on to the next game, you have the Giants against the Twins. Now for this game, you have a matchup between Webb and Ryan. Good pitchers duel. Twins are minus 115, Giants are minus 105, and the over-under in this game is about, I see 7 or 7.5. I know Webb on the road is usually a lot worse than Webb at home, and the Twins have been good lately. I'll take Minnesota, actually. Webb in his last road start was not good. 5 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs against the Padres. Was good in his road starts, though, against the Angels. And the Yankees, he was okay. 5 innings, 3 runs. But Ryan's been good, and I think that him being at home helps. And the Twins have quietly been decently. They are 12-6 at home. So the under might be intriguing, but I might prefer Giants team total under instead. Because Webb on the road does kind of scare me a bit more because his home numbers are so much better than his road numbers every year we do this show. It's at minus 115.
Yeah, I like the Twins as well. Ryan would look a lot better if Minnesota could actually score when he pitches. I mean, if you look at his last 5 games, they scored 1 run or less, or 2 runs or less in 3 of those. And I mean, he lost, all of those. Which is why his record doesn't indicate how well he's been pitching. He's pitching 5 straight unders as well. Not a high hit rate. He's not allowing a lot of contact. So I like him here in this spot. San Francisco, you mentioned the Webb splits. I do like San Francisco long term, but this spot just screams Minnesota right now with the way they've been playing. And San Francisco hasn't been playing bad, but I just think in this specific spot with Webb's road woes, that Ryan will show up a little bit more here. So I like the first 5 under, full game under, and I like the Twins.
Yeah, just to mention the actual numbers here, the Twins have actually won 5 straight. They put against the Red Sox and the Orioles, but you know what? Still counts. So I'll go with the Twins based on the hot form to get the job done here in this game. Moving on to the next game, you have the Padres against the Rockies. Rockies lost by 90 in that doubleheader. It was ugly, but for this game, you have the pitching matchup between Kolek and Blaylock is what I see. You have the Padres at minus 205, Rockies plus 170. The over-under in this game is set at about 11.5. If you want to go for the run line in this game, you can find the Padres at around minus 126. So you have 2 pitchers we really don't know much about. Kolek's 1-0 with a 0 ERA. He only went 5 1/3, but you know what? Gave him no runs against the Pirates, so definitely a good start to his season. For Blaylock, I am the Rockies should just forfeit the entire season. He is 0-1, 8+ ERA. Last start was okay, though, 5 1/3, 3 runs against the Giants, but they have lost all 4 outings he's appeared in by 3+ runs. So give me San Diego -1.5. The Rockies are a fake baseball team. They're the worst team in the league. Give me San Diego -1.5.
Yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet. I like San Diego -1.5. I like the team total over. I mean, it just says a lot with a pitcher that they have throwing. He doesn't have a ton of experience, doesn't have a ton of data on him, and he's laying $2 on the road. That tells you all you need to know.
And he was good in his first outing, and I know Pittsburgh's offense.
No shade against him. No shade against him.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there that the fact is he actually pitched well in his first outing, so maybe he can piece it together again against another really bad offense in this game here on Saturday. Moving on to the next game, you have the Dodgers against the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks were able to win the game yesterday. Fun game, but they were able to hold on at the end. You have May against Burns for the money line, -110 apiece. For the over-under, I see the line being set at about, what's the total at here? Sorry. I believe it's at 9. I want to see if there's an 8.5, though, available anywhere. Total for this one, I see it being set at, 9. I see no 8.5. Bit of juice, though, to the over. So for this game, both pitchers have been okay. Burns has been better than May, if you're going by the numbers. Recently, though, Burns has been good. He's allowed 1 run in his last 2 starts each, or 1 earned run in 2 straight starts. So he has been better, but I think when you're looking at the pricing, I think I got to take the Dodgers at -110. I mean, I feel like it's been a common theme for the show the last week or so, but when you're looking at the Dodgers, who are basically below 130 in any of these outings, I understand May's not been good. May's allowed 14 runs in his last 3 starts. So maybe I might want to consider going for maybe an Arizona team total over if you want to go for ignoring the Dodgers offense entirely, only fading. I don't mind that option. Maybe Diamondbacks first 5. But -110 feels pretty cheap for the Dodgers, but based on May's recent performances, I might actually pivot. Give me Arizona team total over in this game.
Yeah, I'm just, whenever I see a price with the Dodgers this low, I'm taking them. I mean, Burns has lost 3 straight versus the Dodgers. He's allowed, what is this, 6? He's allowed 13 runs, but only 5 of those earned, so a little bit lucky here. This obviously is the best version of the Dodgers team. And, I mean, Arizona's been hit or miss. I know Burns has been better lately, but again, I mean, he faced Tampa. Okay, the Mets, I give him credit for the Mets win. But outside of that, I mean, Washington, Milwaukee, we just talked about, it's kind of just meh. And just like the Diamondbacks, I mean, I don't really see it with them. I know they're at home. They'll get a good crowd, of course, but Dodgers in this range, anywhere from this range up to like 140, I think it's autoplay on the Dodgers, just off strictly price alone.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's some, based on May's recent form, I'll ignore the Dodgers offense entirely. I'll just fade May until he gets his stuff together again. So I'll go with that as my play. Moving on to the next game. This will be the second to last game on the card. Penultimate game, but I'm not holding a pen. So there you go. You got the Orioles against the Angels. For this game, you have Gibson, who has an ERA of 14, against Kochanowicz, who has an ERA of 5.79. So the Orioles are, you got to be kidding me, they're -150 with Gibson pitching? Really? Okay. You got Kochanowicz, or however you want to pronounce it, as the pitcher for the Angels, who stinks too. The over-under's at 9.5. Over. I mean, on principle, I can't actually take the Orioles on any circumstances, but laying 140 plus with a guy with a 14 plus ERA on the road is just insane to me. Kochanowicz isn't very good, but he's technically better than Gibson. I'll take the over. These teams are horrible, but I got to pick something. So give me the over in the game.
Yeah, I like the over too. I would not be indulging in this game at all. If I had to play a side, I would play the Angels. I mean, strictly off value alone. Both of these pitchers have been horrible. They've been horrible. They both lost. They're on a 10-game losing streak together in the last 5. I mean, yeah, this is not good at all. I'm going over. Maybe both teams get to 5-6 runs, and it's like a home run derby. But I can't back the Orioles at that price on the road. Not with Gibson on the mound.
I understand why people might be afraid of the Angels because they have been pretty bad offensively lately. And same thing with Baltimore. But I mean, Gibson can't keep the ball in the ballpark. The one thing the Angels do somewhat well is hit home runs.
Hit
It's the
home
one thing they
runs,
actually
yep.
somewhat do well. So I can see this being a home run party for this matchup. Moving on to the final game of the card, you have the Blue Jays against the Mariners. You have Francis, who unfortunately has been terrible this season after being great in the back half of last year, against Evans, who is relatively new, not good either, 7.2 ERA. Seattle's minus 125. The Blue Jays are plus 105, and the over-under I see at around 8. However, I do see Gilbert actually
Yeah, I
being
see
listed in a
Gilbert. I see
couple of
Gilbert
spots.
too. Yeah, I see
So
Gilbert
I'll
too.
see if there has been any type of update there. Right now I see Evans, but apparently Gilbert might be in line to return. According to a report a week ago from the Mariners president, he said that Gilbert is hopeful to return to the rotation by the end of May. So maybe he's just a really fast healer. I don't know. But there's a chance Gilbert goes, maybe not. So something to keep in mind there. I'll ask you, assuming either guy pitches. Of course, if Gilbert pitches, you want Seattle minus 125. But
Yeah.
if Evans is pitching, do you want to make the argument for either the Mariners, the Blue Jays, or the over or the under?
I would make a effort for the team total over for Seattle. I mean, Francis' hit rate's been extremely high. I think he's allowed, what is this? He's allowed 16 hits and 10 runs in his last 2 starts. That was against Houston, who we talked about was inconsistent offensively, and then Boston, who's been kind of up and down. I do respect Boston's offense, but they've been a bit.
Just to correct you, by the way, he's actually allowed 11 runs in his last 2 starts because he faced off against the Guardians on Sunday and gave up 4 runs and 4 1/3. So his last 3 starts, he's allowed a total of 14 earned runs.
There we go.
In about 12 innings. So 12 innings, 14 earned runs.
Yeah, and hasn't got out of the 4th inning in either of those. So I think Seattle, the way they've been playing offensively, that team total over is looking real, real nice to me. That's probably one of my favorite plays on the board.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they're going to be able to do some damage against Francis. I liked Francis. He was fun last year, but not this year. But the total of 8, if Evans goes, I'll take the over. If Gilbert, then I'll pass. But I think the Mariners should do pretty well against him in this one. If you want to bet this overnight with the hope that Gilbert pitches, you can bet with the action. And that way, no matter who pitches for Seattle, you have action. So it might be a massive line move, potentially, if you want to bet this overnight. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for all the games on the card for Saturday. Now it's time for the Lock and Dog plays. For that, though, a reminder that we are brought to you by our sponsor, Rhythm, because if you want to try the AI back picks and props, then try out Rhythm, because they have those dominate the NBA playoffs, and then we prop market on Rhythm. Also download your own model. Very simple and easy to do. You also try it out for free for a week by using the 7-day free trial. But a reminder, they also have discount codes if you want to actually sign up for a membership monthly and annually. For a monthly deal, they have the discount 25% off with the promo code SGPN25. For the annual deal, they have the promo code SGPN50 for 50% off the subscription. But a reminder, that's Rhythm, promo code SGPN25 or SGPN50. Try the 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblers.com/RATHMM. We're also brought to you by MyBookie. Because MyBookie.ag is placed on every sport. They have the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, the MLB, UFC, you name it. They have props in every game. They also have a ton of locations you can use it from. Also use crypto for letting fast payouts, easy deposits. And once again, a reminder, when you sign up for your new account with MyBookie, use the promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match up to 1K. Terms and conditions apply. MyBookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through every game on the Saturday card. Time to move on into the Lock and Dog picks. Lonte, I'll let you go first. What's going to be your Lock and Dog for the games on Saturday?
Yeah, man, let's keep it short and sweet. Let's go Cleveland at home. We talked about it, the fade of Suarez, the way Bibby's been pitching at home, the way Cleveland's been playing. I think you said they won 5 straight. The offense has looked a lot better. I know Philly is on a heater right now. They're playing extremely well. Credit to them. But I think at home, better pitcher on the mound. Suarez not in good form. That is minus 105 right now at home. So I'll take Cleveland at home minus 105.
Just to quickly correct you, it was the Twins who won 5 in a row. The Guardians have won 7 of their last 9.
Okay, cool. That works for me. And on the dog side, it's not a big dog. I'm going to take Kansas City Royals at home. I think it's a buy low spot for Reagan's, so you can get even money on them at home. Some turmoil going on in Boston. I mean, just wonder how that's affecting those guys. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just looking a little bit too far into it, but it is a possibility. I think Reagan's will be able to pitch well here. He hasn't been good as of late, but I think it's a good buy low spot for them. Kansas City 15-5 at home, playing extremely well. So I like them to get it done at home.
Yeah, so for my lock, I think I am going to go with Atlanta. minus 138. I think it's just an overall good spot for this team. They've been playing better lately. They are bad on the road, I'll admit it, but you're looking at Atlanta. They've won 4 of their last 5. They've been playing pretty well, and we know the Pirates stink, no matter who the manager is. You're looking at Smith Shawver, though, who pitched very well last time out. We saw him go 8 innings, 1 hit, no runs. Heaney, though, has been a mess lately. Last 2 starts, he has gone 8 and 13 hits allowed, 8 runs allowed, and he's also walked 7 guys. He's been a mess. 3 strikeouts in the last 2 starts combined. So he's not fooling anybody right now, and I think that's a bad spot for him in this one. Give me the Braves, money line at minus 138 as my lock. For my dog, a couple of options here. I could go really bold with this, or I could go with something a bit safer. But you know what? I'll go with the bold approach here. I'm going to go with the... I don't want to go with the Twins. Thought about the Twins, maybe minus 1.5. I might do that, actually. I like how they're playing, and I do think that Webb, we know, is a lot better at home than on the road every year. Give me Minnesota, minus the 1.5, plus 175. I'm going to swing for it. I like the price here. I know you mentioned that Ryan gets no run support at all, so that is a problem, but Webb on the road, for the most part, not great. Giants are a good team, but on the road, I do think Webb might struggle. Give me Ryan, who's been in good form, minus the 1.5 here at plus 175 as my dog. Now it's time for the home run picks, Lonte. I'll ask you first, what do you want to go with?
Let's go with Taylor Ward, man. I know it's
that's what I was going to take.
Board. Really?
Yeah, I was going to take Taylor Ward. Damn it.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, but he's hit a home run in 2 of his last 3. He was on a slump from the end of April into this month. I think he went hitless in maybe like 7 or 8 straight, but he's been really good in his last like handful of weeks here. So I think he pitches well. We talked about Gibson giving up home runs, so I think he's a prime candidate to go yard tomorrow. Sorry about that, Scott.
It's fine. Gibson's given up 6 home runs this season, given up at least 1 home run in both starts. I'm probably going to take an Angel as well, because I feel like I kind of have to.
Yeah.
Who do I want to go with? The problem is Soler has 2 home runs in his career against Gibson. Those are his only 2 hits. He's 2 for 23. He has a batting average of 87 against Gibson. So I don't know if I can do it. Ward, by the way, 3 for 4 lifetime against him in their careers. There's really no head-to-head history that supports any of this right now for me to pick anybody. He's been so bad against lefties, though. Lefties, by the way, against Gibson are batting .474. I want to actually see if Rengifo's playing on a game-in, game-out basis. He played on the 7th. I'm hoping he plays in this one. He's been terrible all season. Might get a good price on it. But you know what? I'll back the numbers against... I should say I'll back his numbers against Gibson. Does have a home run and a couple RBIs against him. Gibson's bad against lefties. I'll go with another Angel. Give me Luis Rengifo, who's batting really, really badly. He's batting .210 this season. But you know what? I like the matchup. Give me Rengifo against Gibson in this one. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for the show. Back once again on Sunday for the Monday games. Find me on Twitter, Reichel Radio. Find him on Twitter at XXLonteXX. Till next time, good luck to all of you and all of your